Lagi ko sinasabi na I think okay na sa akin yung $5 per hour or below that as long as may mga clients ako. When I experience a better rate than that, sabi ko, kaya pala. I can earn more in lesser amount of time. Yung mindset mo is pag naka-experience ka kasi ng much higher rate, you're not just below $5 lang, $4. You should not devalue yourself or belittle na ano yung kaya mong gawin. When I started experiencing much higher rates like $6, $7, $8, dun ko nasabi na I can charge higher, ganon.
Kliyente, 8,000 people sa kanyang FB community para sa mga VAs at hindi siya nagbebenta ng kahit anong VA course, webinar, or items.
Because of this, marami na siyang natulungan, mga digital marketers na kumikita ng 40,000 minimum per month.
At ngayon, nandito siya para kayo naman ang matuto sa kanya.
That's right. So, siya si Roy from commuter to content creator. Yes, and tuturuan niya tayo maging digital marketing VA.
Welcome everyone to From Kaya to Keyboard. I'm Tata.
And I'm Roxy, and kung ikaw ay isang Filipino VA o gusto maging isa, you're in the right place.
Yes, today's guest is someone very special kasi nagsimula siya sa isang SEO agency. Tapos, nag-commute siya taon-taon mula South hanggang Makati. Grabe, sobrang nakakapagod. At dahil doon, pagod din siyang tumayo. Ngayon, nagtayo na lang siya ng freelancing community para sa mga Pilipino. At 100% free ito, wala bayad yung course niya.
And by the end of this episode, you'll learn first kung paano maging digital marketing VA kahit wala kang background. Second is kung anong tools ang kailangan mo ngayon, kasama na yung, of course, yung AI. And kung bakit yung commute palagi yung dahilan kung bakit tayo nagsisimula.
Laging commute yung dahilan, no? Ano ba meron sa traffic talaga sa Pilipinas eh. Magbago na kasi kayo yung gobyerno. Naging government podcast. Ano, before we begin guys, please subscribe para wala kayong mamiss na episode. Sige, Roy, handa ka na ba?
Ready na.
Ready na ready na. Please introduce yourself to all our viewers.
Hi, my name is Roy. I have been a freelancer and content creator for the past 5 to 6 years now. And I just love creating content and helping out people to get their jobs. Especially, it's my personal advocacy and passion to really helping everyone out to get their jobs.
Grabe yung personal advocacy and passion.
Yes. Roy, kwentuhan mo naman kami yung reason na nag-push sa'yo to become a VA.
I think one of the things na nag-push sa akin to become a VA or a freelancer is that syempre pag as a corporate people, we typically envy those people na who travel often. Kasi 'di ba pag iniisip mo na working from home, being a digital nomad, they can be anywhere, anytime na they can decide. For example, when I saw some of my friends, they are doing freelancing, working from home. Syempre, tayo, mostly people na who are into commuting. Daming nasasayang time. 2 hours ka nagbibiyahe, minsan more than that pa. Depende sa layo nung distance. So parang I decided around 2020 to venture into freelancing. I watched YouTube videos and I check out articles to help me out to start freelancing. Eventually, I landed my first client. The client trusted me. And during that time, I could remember na yung portfolio ko is I just placed all of my works in a Google document. Diba parang hindi siya presentable tingnan.
Oh, grabe naman Google document. Pero bakit ano yung nag-trigger sa'yo? May commute ka ba na parang grabe, umabot na ako ng 4 na oras dito, yung boss mo ba, hindi mo kasundo? Kasi di ba madali namang sabihin na gusto ko mag-commute, ayoko na mag-commute. Pero iba pa rin yung tapang na loob na magta-trust ka sa freelancing, magta-trust ka maging VA.
I think nagkaroon lang ng opportunity that time na naging toxic na yung workplace. Like, lahat ng mga kasama ko, it was their first time na maka-experience na buraot yung boss, like, manghihiram ng pera, tapos even to the point na lahat kami natotoxica na sa workplace kasi
Like, mahirap sa inyo? Manghihiram yung boss niyo sa inyo?
Sa inyo?
For example, during breaks namin that time, Roy, pahiram ako ng 50, babayaran ko mamaya, ang ganon. Hanggang umabot sa point na nagkapatong-patong na yung mga hiniram niya. So
Para
parang,
saan daw?
usually parang, I'm not sure na maybe possibly meron siyang, issue sa pag-handle ng money. Parang naisip namin that time na everything was for the purpose of clout lang, na kailangan during breaks namin mag-Starbucks kami. So yun yung point na sabi ko na kung ganito na lang yung situation ko sa work, I would rather be at home doing so many things. Kasi imagine, COVID yun, papapasukin ka sa work dahil may meeting, may mga task. Pero ang nangyayari is pagpupunta ka ng office, uy guys, tara Starbucks tayo, ganun, na parang
Naku.
nade-drain ka sa ganun.
Nag-ano siya, cloud chaser ang boss, name drop. SEO agency name drop.
Ano ba kasi
Mali
meron sa
lang ako.
Starbucks na yan? Marami namang cheaper din na masarap na coffee.
Imagine that you sahod mo is around 15 to 17k. So kada commute mo, malaki na yung gagastusin mo sa pamasahe. Then gagastos ka pa for yung mga like Starbucks and kung ano pang mga food trip. So parang
How much yung parang pamasahe mo in a day?
I think during that time, this was my third work na. And then nagko-commute ako like from San Pedro, Laguna going to Cabuyao. So it was in the midst of GCQ ata yun, na General Community Quarantine. Kasi there were like months na yung government sasabihin na GCQ, ECQ. So parang gagastos ako daily almost 50 to 80 pesos. Yes, kung depende sa availability ng mga jeeps, minsan kailangan mong more than many rides pa yung kailangan mong sakyan.
Grabe. Okay, so nakahanap ka na ng first freelancing gig mo. Kamusta naman yung paycheck since dinisclose mo na kung magkano yung kinikita mo nung nasa corporate ka?
By the time na nag-start na ako mag-freelance, at that time, I was earning like some corporate like around 15k. Kaltas na yung mga taxes nun and yung mga benefits. I think during that time, first few months ko, I was like earning additional 15 to 18k, which is not bad at all kasi I was just like spending 2 to 3 hours every night. Syempre, pag first time freelancer ka, pabibo na lagi kang nagre-respond sa client mo, minsan umaabot pa ng more than that. Kaya parang OTY na lang yung mga extra kasi syempre na-excite ka na to do your task, first client mo. So, yun yung earning ko during those times.
So kung tutuusin, dapat mas malaki yung kinikita mo kasi per hour tayo no?
Oo, like syempre, pag di mo pa masyado kabisado yung ins and outs ng freelancing, mapapaisip ka na, sige, na to. Pero in reality, you need to charge them every hour talaga.
So how did you yung thinking process mo for kung magkano ka magsisimula? Paano mo na-discover yun?
I think while I was watching YouTube videos that time, I was watching this content creator, si Nikki B. She had like more than 200,000 following sa YouTube at that time. Then she was sharing yung how she budgets her money. So at that time, I got curious, syempre, as someone who's only earning 15k monthly, nag-iisip ka ng paraan on how can you like multiply your cash flow. So doon pa lang, sabi ko, let me try out different job searching sites. For quite some time, never ako nagkaroon ng opportunity magka-client sa Upwork. So, tinitingnan ko yung mga ibang job platforms. Sabi ko, mas malaki pa yung hourly rate mo kaysa sa daily wage mo dito sa Pinas. So, parang yun yung isa sa mga trigger ko na I'll have to really jump from corporate to freelancing.
So, during that time, Roy, ano ba yung usually ginagawa mo sa mga clients, or parang may pinagawa ba sila sa'yo na parang hindi mo, at first parang hindi mo alam how to do it?
At that time, nung nag-apply ako for certain position na social media marketer sa isang home inspection company, sobrang bagong-bago sa akin yung
Social media.
pag-manage ng digital marketing nila. So, I have some idea na with social media marketing na, pero bago pa lang yung mga tools like Canva at that time around early 2020s. So parang sabi ko, sige, i-try ko lang tong Canva. And di pa ako premium user noon, so limited yung mga templates na pwede mong gamitin. And yun din na may mga bagong mga social media scheduler tools. First time kong gamitin yun.
May meta yung business.
May meta business na nun, pero yung client ko kasi nag-subscribe siya ng social media scheduler that includes all social media platforms rin. So, nakakapanibago.
So, medyo overwhelming ang tignan yung mga ibang mga business suites.
When ba, na-release yung Canva? 2020?
2018, 19 meron na siya, pero I was clueless pa about that tool. Kasi in early 2015s or 2010s, laging ang idea lang natin when it comes to graphic designing is yung Adobe Photoshop or Adobe Illustrator.
Yung iba nga do, PowerPoint presentation.
Oo nga, narinig ko nga yung iba. Yung minsan doon ako nag-e-edit talaga. Kunyari, kailangan ko lang ng mga simpleng border, simpleng shadow. Doon ako nag-e-edit. Tapos kini-screenshot ko na lang.
Ibang-iba talaga yung pag-level up ng graphic design.
So Roy, saan mo nakita tong unang client ko sa Upwork?
I found my clients sa online jobs at that time. Sabi ko, aminado naman ako, like experience ko when it comes to SEO. Very basic lang yung alam ko na parang I can admit na parang ang naging approach ko nun is fake it until you make it. Like, kasi parang in order for you to get a client, gagawin mo yung approach na best foot forward. So nagtatanong yung client at that time na, so do you know how to do SEO, social media marketing? So syempre ako as a first timer probably. yes.
Siyempre, hindi mo sasabihin hindi. So, ano yung mga skills? How many skills did you really have? Ano ba talaga yung mga skill set mo noon nung nakuha mo yung first client? And ano yung skill set yung medyo, pero natutunan mo along the way?
I think at that time, I just had like a small experience when it comes to growing a social media page. Kumaga parang more into skill set ko lang nun, taga-post ng social media posts and creating ideas. Kasi sa first company namin, role namin is we are second company ko pala na we are product marketing specialist. So may mga products na na-assign yung SketchUp sa akin at that time. So meron kami mga graphic designers, copywriter. So kami yung mga project coordinator din. So parang going into that first client na meron ako, that was the only experience na growing a social media page na SketchUp PH for a week, 6 weeks na pa 600 to 1K ko ata at that time. So na-enjoy ko siya. Doon ako nagkaroon ng idea na pwede siyang gawin. And nung nasa first client ako that time, doon ko na na-develop yung copywriting, and then yung mga early works ko na sa graphic design at that time, sobrang ang papangit eh. So kung gagamitin mo yung word na mabantot, sobrang bantot talaga tingnan.
Grabe naman.
Yung graphics ko that time. Pero may mga clients kasi na parang, oh, that's cool. That's great. So, tatanggapin na nila yung work mo kasi syempre kung mabantot yung gawa mo, mas mabantot yung mga early works nila.
Parang kang project manager, tapos parang ikaw yung nag-instruct sa mga graphics team.
Nung prior nag-freelance ako, then nung nasa first client na ako, parang all around na ako na like graphic designer, social media manager.
I can relate kasi ganyan din nangyari din sa akin. Yung first
freelancing, VA freelancing ano mo na rin to?
Yung first agency ko, bali project head. So, may mga campaigns tapos binibigay ko sa graphics, sa mga video editor, tapos yun nga, sobrang busy nila. So, ako na lang yung gumawa. Kasi na lang matapos yung pinapagawa ni client. So, parang doon ko din na grow yung skills sa graphics din.
Pinangkin mo pala lahat ng trabaho.
Kasi ayaw nilang tanggapin kasi sobrang full na sila. Anyway, Roy, ano yung mga mistake na kept you at low rates in the beginning, and how did you finally break out of it?
I think at the beginning, lagi ko sinasabi na okay, I think okay na sa akin yung $5 per hour or below that, as long as may mga clients ako. And when I experience a better rate than that, sabi ko, kaya pala na I can earn more in lesser amount of time. So parang yung mindset mo is pag naka-experience ka kasi ng much higher rate, doon nababago yung mindset mo na you're not just below $5 lang, $4, and you should not devalue yourself or belittle na ano yung kaya mong gawin. So as for me that time, when I started experiencing much higher rates like $6, $7, $8, dun ko nasabi na I can charge higher, ganon.
Paano naman, Roy, kung let's say, ganon nga yung bigay sa'yo ni client, pero na-enjoy mo naman yung work?
May mga instances na I make compromises, like lalo na if yung client is sobrang bait, like I can definitely consider like getting those clients kasi wala kasing one size fits all na strategy when it comes to getting premium clients. Most of the time, you will get clients na they're barely they barely have like nothing talaga. So dun mo ang mindset mo as a freelancer is how can you really position their brand from being nothing into something someday. Dun mo rin makikita yung expertise mo na yung mga strategies mo, yung skill set mo, you have the ability to grow their business. So normally tinatanggap ko siya, lalo na pag feel ko hindi toxic yung client, masarap samahan. Kasi may mga ganun na instances like sa simula, ang laki ng offer. And then pag nararamdaman mo na second interview, yung final interview toxic, lagi ko na lang sinasabi na I'm sorry, I'm not the right person. I think my skills are low.
Biglang ay, hindi ko pala kaya yan.
May ganun akong experience, like yung notorious pala to sa online jobs before, Chinese American, minumura niya yung mga freelancer niya. Tapos pag may aalis, hahanapan niya ng parang insulting words for them. Like nung nag-interview kami, tinutor niya ako doon sa Slack niya ata or Discord at that time. Etong umalis na to, I don't like this person, ganon. Sobrang ang dami niyang mga discriminating words, ganon. He is too slow, ganyan. And even to the point na kung ano-ano ng mga this guy is an idiot, ganyan.
So naka-work mo siya or hindi?
Umalis na ako nung i-hire na niya ako kasi sabi ko, I think I cannot work with this type of person kasi syempre mas gugustuhin mo na okay yung sanity mo kaysa mabaliw ka.
Pero paano yun? Hindi ka ba niya inaaway kasi parang bigla kang nag-cancel?
Actually, sinabihan niya ako yung when are you gonna start? Sabi ko, I'm not sure kasi at the back of my head, ayoko nang proceed. Kasi isipin mo, toxic na. Then, so parang sabi ko sa kanya na I think I can no longer proceed with the job application. Naalala ko yung sabi niya, WTF, man? Why are you just saying that right now? Oo, na parang sabi, kumaga that time parang, syempre, nasa point ka na naghahanap ka ng extra client, parang traumatic siya for you eh. Oo. I think wala na siya sa online jobs ngayon eh, na madaming mga freelancer pala nag-post sa Reddit na avoid this guy at all, ganon. Actually, it was like a dating app na boss, ganon. Yung brand, awag na lang baka.
Nilaglag eh, no?
Nilaglag eh.
Yan ba yung parang ang dami nilang pinopost sa Instagram na mga girls?
Baka yun na na parang yung dating app nila kasi personality based na mamatch ako sa introvert, extrovert ako.
Wala nang nagsalita nun.
Kaya yun din na sabi ko at the time, ayoko maka-work yung mga ganitong clients. So pag ramdam ko na yung personality nila during the interview is sobrang domineering, masyadong strong yung personality, nagba-back out na ako. Kasi yung ma-work mo na sila, and then sa gitna ka pa ng work mo na nag-grow yung social media, doon ka nag-back out. Mas parang nakakahiya gawin yun. Pero normally, you can always back out naman kasi yung as freelancers, yun yung ating advantage na you can resign anytime.
So, paano yung nag-click sa'yo, Roy? Kasi di ba may mga naririnig ako na mga ibang VA na after a few months, hindi naman talaga sila nag-succeed sa pagiging VA. Pero parang sa'yo, naka-develop ka ng intuition to know which kinds of bosses that you would like to work for. Gaano katagal bago mo yun naintindihan yung pagiging VA and VA life?
I think nung after 3 years na, sabi ko na 3 years na naisip ko na ito na yung gagawin ko long term. Pero during the first year, I have that mindset na I wanna do this. Kasi ang dami kong gustong gawin eh. I wanna do podcasting, I wanna create content sa TikTok. So parang may mga plans ka na naka-line up. And eventually nung ika-third year ko, 2023, yung halos every quarter doon na ako nagta-travel.
Wow!
As in, February, nag-Japan ako noon, then April and May nag-Thailand, then
kasama ko ikaw lang.
August nag-Japan ulit. May mga travels ako na kasama ko yung mga kaibigan ko, and then may iba na solo, and then yung last travel ko for 2023 was Shanghai, China. Sabi ko na parang ito pala yung sinasabi na work hard, play hard na kind of life.
Saya.
Pero na-drain ako noon.
Second year as being a VA. So sa third year kailangan ganun.
At yung iba pa nga first year pa lang nila nakaka-travel na sila halos every quarter. May iba pa monthly.
Wow.
Talaga? Paano yun?
Siguro yung may mga
6 digits sila, 6 digits.
6 digits for sure yung kinikita nila.
Kasi si Roy, there's 6 digits to steroid.
6 digits na yan for sure.
Dun ko nakita na yung parang may skill set ako to close clients. Mindset ko na pag na-interview ako ni client, kaya ko siyang i-close, ganon. Na parang that time kasi binawasan na ako ng working hours ng client ko na imagine 40 hours a week ka, tapos biglang maging 20 hours, 30 hours. And then meron ka pang risk, at risk ka na matatanggal ka. So, nag-todo apply ako noon, Facebook groups, online jobs, and other job searching platforms. Grabe, sunod-sunod yung mga interviews ko. Hanggang naka-add ako ng 4-5 na clients like in 1 month. Kasi parang daily goal ko, makapag-apply ako ng 10 to 20 jobs. Kasi syempre, pag nasa position ka na force ka to do something and marami kang bills na babayaran, need mo gumawa ng paraan eh. And yun pa yung time na meron ng ChatGPT pero hindi pa siya ganun ka solid tulad ngayon. Kasi 'di ba parang meron pa doon na elevate, ganon. I'm thrilled to dive into a journey of freelancing.
Pero nag-multiple ka na, parang ganon, multiple client.
Multiple na ako. By the time na nag-quit ako sa corporate,
Mga ilang clients yung na-handle mo nun?
Pinakamadami.
Pinakamarami ko, I think 6, pero burnout ako nun. Sobrang
Ang
burnout.
hirap kasi kaya ganun. Ang hirap kasi talaga ng multiple eh. Parang someone.
Need mo nang mag-delegate
Outsource person.
pag ganun.
So
Pero-
nag-ano ka? Nag-hire?
Ayan, Roy, nandito kami.
Nag-outsource ako nun during that time na sabi ko, sige, outsource ko to. Pero hindi pa rin kaya kasi lalo na pag magsasabay-sabay na yung mga task meetings. May time nun, nagmi-meeting kami ng isang client, biglang nag-call yung isang client. Sabi ko, paano ko to pagsabayin? Sabi ko na lang sa isa kong client, wait, I'm still in the toilet. So parang that time, nai-stress na ako. Paano kung tatlo na yung magse-set ng meeting?
Ang hirap kasi nun eh. So, you outsource and help people. Have you ever helped someone, Roy, who now earns?
Nagkaroon ako ng opportunity to help some friends at first na magkaroon ng freelancing client, and eventually they ventured into freelancing full-time 2022 up to now. So parang by that time na-realize ko na okay pala to na you're helping people to jump into freelancing kasi they have the skill set. So that time yung friend ko gusto na niya umalis sa corporate work niya kasi nade-delay yung sahod during the pandemic 2021. So parang sabi ni client, hey, we're looking for an extra teammate that can help you out. So at the back of my head, I want to work with my former workmate. So nirefer ko siya. Syempre you'll say all of the flowery words at that time. So laking tulong na lang din yun na may portfolio siya. Eventually na-hire din. So it changed her life din, yung freelancing kumbaga.
Bait mo talaga doon. So, doon naman tayo sa mga community na na-build mo. Why did you charge people for free? Bakit hindi ka na lang nagpa-webinar? Bakit hindi ka na lang nagpa-course?
At time kasi, ang dami ng mga freelancing coaches na nagsusulputan sa TikTok din. Parang they charge you na like for example 5,000, 10,000 sa courses nila, and then yung course nila mismo nag-google lang and parang puro terms and definition lang about freelancing. So parang sabi ko, I would rather build a community na lang kasi mindset ko nun, your portfolio speaks louder than what you can offer sa mga kapwa VAs mo. Kasi pag once you have a solid portfolio, you can definitely close clients na typically gusto mo. Kasi kung isipin mo, yung mga aspiring VAs or aspiring freelancers, naghanap sila ng trabaho, wala silang pera. Why would I personally charge money? Pero I have nothing against anyone doing courses. Kasi meron pa rin namang matitino na mga VA coach eh. It's just a matter of filtering them out. Kasi parang, syempre, ayoko nang makadagdag stress sa mga freelancer na imagine, ang dami ng mga loans nila niyan for sure para to sustain them during the pandemic. And dun ko din na-realize talaga na when you have that mindset of a giver, hindi ka nawawalan ng opportunities. Kasi may mga times mawawalan ako ng clients ng 2 to 6 months, ganun. Pero within the 2 to 6 months, nakakahanap ako kaagad ng client na backup. It may take some time, pero yung pag may mindset ka lang talaga na the more you give sa mga tao, the more you receive, ika nga. Na parang, syempre, one of the best ways for you to really grow in your skills is kapag may bago kang natututunan and then you teach it to people, mas na-ingrain sa utak mo na naging part na siya ng DNA mo. So parang dun ko na-realize na mas tumatagal yung learnings mo rin pag tinuturo mo sa iba. Napanood ko yun sa isang TikTok video eh. And then sabi ko, gusto ko ma-fast track yung mga learnings ko. So why not apply ko na lang through teaching them.
Pumupogi ito si Roy habang parang pogi na nga siya. Tapos pumupogi pa siya dahil sobrang bait niya.
Apaka-deep
No?
niyang niya. Pero totoo yun,
like-
yung if you have the provider or giver mindset ba yun, parang hindi ka talaga mawawalan.
True.
Kasi may ibibigay din talaga for you.
Kasi, di ba kung iisipin mo na mag-i-stack ka ng mga learnings mo, gatekeep mo yung resources mo. To think about that, parang hindi ka na nag-o-open ng sarili mo for more blessings or for more deposits sa'yo. Kasi parang, di ba, lang cup na or any mug pag puno na ng tubig and wala ka ng for potential blessings.
So Roy, ito, tulungan naman natin yung mga viewers natin sa kung paano sila kikita ng 40,000 a month as a digital marketing VA. Ano ba yung minimum skill level na dapat meron sila?
Sige, sabihin na natin na more than 40k or 50k.
Uy, nice. Guys makinig kayo, more than
Joke
40K.
lang. Pero I think 40k is monthly is really doable. Like usually ang ginagawa ko diyan, I don't take full-time clients. I normally take part-time clients para may flexibility ako na mawalan man ako ng isang client, meron pa akong extra income. So pwede kong palitan yung nawala anytime. So the skills na pwede mong i-learn is basic skills lang muna. You need to be well versed with the use of AI these days, especially meron ng Claude, may ChatGPT, Gemini, Perplexity. So dapat alam mo yung mga use cases per AI tool. Kasi if not, you'll be having a hard time to adjust sa day and age ng freelancing/AI. And at the same time, if you want to add something sa skill set mo, you need to be flexible. Marunong ka mag-graphic design, video editing, copywriting. So pag meron kang knowledge and portfolio with those type of skill sets, I think you'll be off to a good start na. Kasi parang with all of those skill sets na mention ko, and meron kang characteristic as a freelancer na I wanna grow with this company or client or contribute sa success nila, you can definitely earn 30,000, 40,000 or even more. May mga clients pa nga part-time lang. Okay, I'm gonna hire you for like 55k. You'll just work flexibly sa akin. Ganon.
Wow, yun yung pinaka-masarap na client na flexible ka na nga, tapos nakaka-receive ka pa ng 50,000 a month. Yun na mga kaya yun ng mga minimum skill level. Sa editing naman, may Canva, may CapCut, sobrang daling gamitin yun, di ba?
Oo, lalo na when you say Canva, CapCut, parang may mga edits na nga ngayon na para siyang gawa sa Adobe Premiere Pro and even with Canva. It's a matter of really how do you show yung creativity mo in a higher level rin. And you need to also use AI rin as your tool to brainstorm with you. May mga instances nga pag feeling ko may creative block ako or parang mental block ako sa paggawa ng mga content. Usually, gagamitin ko si Claude or si ChatGPT na you connect the AI to Canva na, hey, I need this kind of social media template or social media post. Can you help me out? Ganon na. Di-distinguish mo lang na, ito, I like this type of color palette, this type of font. So parang magbibigay na siya ng mga certain suggestions na mga social media posts right away.
Actually, si Claude, parang for me now si Claude yung parang mas wide yung niya.
Talaga?
O kasi si ChatGPT parang minsan matagal siya makagets.
Oo.
So si Claude, magigets siya diretso tapos mag-provide siya ng mock-up kung ano yung design or color. Kaya minsan pag si Alon may pinapagawa, Claude ako diretso pero sometimes best friend din naman natin si ChatGPT.
May attachment kasi ako kay ChatGPT kaya. Pero sa mga graphics, sa mga images, ay naku girlie, hindi ko na inaasahan yung ChatGPT na yan.
Try mo si Claude. Mukhang
Okay.
ano siya. So, saan nga ba? Yung next class mo na, yung for the beginners sana yun eh. Like for the beginners, ano yung pinakamadaling way for them to go from zero to have a first client?
I think yun din na pag na immerse nila yung sarili nila into those content creation tools and AI tools, and then they start doing like mock-ups or they build their portfolio for passion project lang. After that, they venture into harnessing their skills in communicating and conversing to clients. Malaki na yung chance na ma-hire ka eh. Most of the time, ang pinaka-struggle ng isang freelancer is, I think, yung fear of rejection. Kasi pag na-reject ka na twice, thrice, parang iisipin mo na this is not for me. Pero pag nasanay ka na ma-reject araw-araw, tuloy-tuloy na yan eh. Na okay, I got rejected again, move on ako, move forward. So, by doing those things, they can definitely close clients, not just one client.
Galing. Nalala ko tuloy nung nagsisimula ako maging VA. Kasi naghahanap talaga ako ng part-time nun eh. Tapos kahit feeling ko nun, kahit anong apply ko, hindi ako matatanggap. Tapos biglang nung time na, sige na, parang nag-surrender na ako sa hirap. Sige na, magpapasa na lang ako kahit ano man ang mangyari. Kahit hindi na ako makakatanggap. May biglang dumating.
Oo, may mga chances na ganun eh. Someone will take their chances on you.
Actually, yung pag na-reject ka kasi, parang malilearn mo din yun kung ano yung kulang sa'yo. Parang, baka hindi ko na-gets yung need ni client, kaya hindi ako natanggap. So, yun nga, diba, sabi nila, huwag kang mag-focus sa ano yung wala, kung ano yung wala sa'yo. Focus sa ano yung meron ka, tapos yun yung parang yung mo. Okay, so,
lagi na sa positioning eh, no?
Totoo.
Okay, Roy, so grabe para sa mga nakikinig, let's do a wrap-up.
So guys, kapag hindi kayo nakikinig kanina, ito na siya. Joke lang. So unang, hindi mo kailangan alam ang lahat bago magsimula. So according to Roy, sinabi niya na copywriting was something you learned along the way. Tama, no? Yung parang yung graphics, alam mo na.
I was still learning yung mga basics along the way din, na parang I learned from my friend. Kasi nung pumasok na yung friend ko, doon gumanda yung mga graphics namin. So parang napa-level up ako din while working with my teammate. Hingi ako ng feedback. So those are the skills na na-learn ko din along the way.
Galing. Yan, narinig nyo na. Pangalawa, ang AI, kasangkapan siya, hindi siya kapalit ng utak mo. So, going back to Roy's story, sometimes when he has a creative block, ililink niya lang yung Canva niya sa AI. Tapos, ayun na siya, gagawa na siya ng something in order to inspire you, but never to replace you. And pangatlo, ang freelancing, hindi lang siya career change. Para sa iba, life change talaga siya. Katulad sa, parang, just in my experience na, I thought I would never, ever work from home after the pandemic. Pero, ang sarap talaga mag-work from home.
Yes, and ito naman yung mga action plan for this week. So, day 1 to day 2, piliin ang isang skill. It can be video editing, graphic creation, copywriting, social media management. So, isa lang muna, and then simulan mo na siya. So, isa lang daw muna. Huwag mong masyadong yan-amanan yourself mo. Lahat talaga. For day 3 to 4 naman, gumawa ng isang sample work, kahit mock-up, kahit para sa imaginary client. Yes. And then day 5 to 7, i-upload sa isang portfolio, Notion, Canva portfolio, LinkedIn, anywhere basta may mapakita ka na proof of your skill set.
True. So we hope that you follow that action plan. And Roy, any last words or mga gusto mong parang last words para sa, yun nga, last words. Roy, any last words para sa mga listeners natin?
Parang namamaalam na ako. Hindi, joke lang. I think for freelancers and for any one of us, it's really important that we have that mindset na we're not just meant to stay here, na we're meant for more. We are wired for bigger things. So dun pa lang na when you have that type of mindset, I think you can go farther places. Na you're not just meant to be generalist. Someday you will be a specialist or something. And most of the time din talaga na the reason why ang dami rin mga VAs rin na they start their own businesses kasi they have that mindset na I can do and be more. So when you have that mindset na I can do more and be more, you can achieve a lot of things in life. It may take some while, but you can definitely reach that point. So those are my encouragement for everyone.
Yes. Thank you so much, Roy. So remember you can do more and be more.
Yes, girl. Do more and be more. Kasi ang hirap kung magko-commute ka na lang araw-araw. Guys, kung hindi mo talaga siya na-enjoy, tama na. Apply ka na sa BA Masters. At para sa lahat ng nakikinig, kung nakatulong sa inyo ang episode na to, please subscribe to From Kayod to Keyboard.
Yes, and pwede din kayo mag-comment ng inyong biggest takeaway, or please share this video or episode to your friends na gusto maging VA.
Yes, thank you so much, Roy, for sharing your insights, your thoughts, your journey with us. Kasi I think for our listeners na nagsisimula, they always need examples of how they can start, of how they can sustain their VA journeys. So for everyone, my name is Tata.
And I'm Roxy, and this is From Kayod to Keyboard.
See you next episode.
Yeah, see you in the next one. Bye.
Bye.